Here's the story of how I got my SNES Mini. I was Christmas shopping and I was picking up a gift for my brother from GameStop. This was at the peak of the SNES Mini's launch, where they were extremely hard to get a hold of. And I walk up to the checkout counter and I look over the shoulder of the cashier and I see a SNES Mini box with a dollar figure on. And I ask the cashier if they have any in the back. The cashier says, "No, we don't. We've sold out." But that box is a SNES Mini and we could sell you the display. It was a rare now or never purchasing decision. And so I impulse bought it. And I went home with it. And I have had an incredible amount of fun with this thing. For one, everything about this game's packaging is immaculate. Even the box is a beautiful piece of retro art. The SNES Mini itself is exactly what you think it would be. It's an adorable, tiny thing. The controllers are perfect replicas of Super Nintendo controllers. And the game emulation is wonderful. All of the games play great, and the SNES Mini has a genuinely fantastic library. And the ways in which this system is designed to appeal to your nostalgia actually run pretty deep. For example, you can turn on scan lines as you play the games on your flat screen TV, making these games play almost identically to the way they played when you were a kid. But here's the thing. I didn't have a Super Nintendo when I was a kid. I had a Sega Genesis. I actually didn't know anyone with a Super Nintendo either. I had not played a SNES game until the mid-2000s. And it gets weirder. By now, I have played just about every game on the SNES Mini. The only one that I had never played was Earthbound. And I'd played them recently, too. Super Metroid is one of my favorite games, and I generally will play it once or twice a year. As a matter of fact, I have Super Metroid downloaded on my Wii U. So picture this. I'm playing a graphically inferior version of Super Metroid on my SNES Mini than to the one that I have on my Wii U. And this was not a game I grew up with. I believe it was Baudrillard who came up with the concept of the Main Street simulacrum. Here's what he expressed. At the time, if you went to Disney World, you would encounter a section of the theme park called American Main Street. And you'd walk out and you'd see a painstakingly crafted vision of the American Main Street, the Main Street from a Norman Rockwell painting. You'd see local soda shacks, that 1950s sheen, everything would be beautiful. But the sentiment being expressed was that this Main Street never actually existed. This wasn't the Main Street of America, this was the Main Street of American media. This was the Main Street of the Andy Griffith Show. Or, as I said, of Norman Rockwell. But people going to the American Main Street section of Disney World thought they were seeing what America looked like in the 1950s. But they weren't seeing what America looked like. They were seeing what America thought like. We oftentimes use art to imitate reality. A good example previously described is how Celeste takes the emotions associated with climbing a mountain and converts them into a gameplay experience. But there's a strange type of art, the simulacrum, that happens when art imitates itself, when art imitates a reality that never was, when art imitates a reality that was created in art. It's always a strange sensation to encounter a simulacrum. Everyone has felt the emotions associated with it in some capacity. It's the emotion that something is disquietingly perfect. You feel connected to it, not because it's real, but because it embraces a lie that you also embrace. And that's a little bit of the feeling I get whenever I play my SNES Mini. On the one hand, I feel this intense pang of nostalgia, but this pang is a misplaced file in my DNA. Its root is nothingness. It's a symbol signifying nothing. I feel nostalgia for games I didn't play as a kid, and for moments I didn't have as a child. Perhaps I'm feeling nostalgia for nostalgia itself.